Hey up, me ducks. How are we all doing? The bongs are bonging. I'm just trying to find the chat. There we go. Have I turned the volume down? Yes, I have. Oh, wow, 20 people in already. So I'll just quickly say hello and then we'll crack on. Now the sirens are going to start, aren't they? Cynthia, Dan's here. Astoria Sen, Susie Scar72, Skull, Becca, Patrice, Butterfly, Sandra, who else have we got? Tycon, L, and Claire, Susie, El Wasson, and we've got Oslag, Oslag, that's probably not how you say it. It's how we'd say it. Hey, Becca. Jamie's here. Excellent Tiger. Lennon, Susan and Maddie. And everybody else that comes in, hello and welcome. I hope you've all got a cuppa. So I'm going to ensure that I stick to an hour tonight. I know we went over. I say we went over. We only went over by a couple of minutes last week. But for those of you who are subbed to Dan's channel, who's in the chat, Epine Duvale, he's starting his Baby Witching series tonight, and I'm really excited about it. We had a chat earlier today, and he's going on 10 minutes after me, 9:10. If he was in his live last week, he talked about the premise of his series. I've got, let me just show my journal. This is going to be my kind of journal, Book of Shadows type thing to go with the series. I've had it for a while, not had an excuse to use it yet. It's got this amazing clasp on it, but I love it. So I'm going to be using that as part of the series. So that's straight after at 9:10. So I'm going to make sure I stick to time and stay focused, and we'll crack on. Yeah, everybody's excited for it. Thank you, Jamie. I love that journal. I bought it a year last Christmas from the Lincoln Christmas market. And I've been waiting for an opportunity to use it for something quite witchy, because it feels quite witchy. So, with a very close 52% of the vote, and apologies I had to postpone this last week. This should have happened last week, but I was in Leeds. And I wouldn't have got back in time. Well, I would have just got back in time, but I wouldn't have had time to eat or prepare or anything like that. But with 52% of the vote, the Mystic Faerie won against the Bonefire Tarot. So Bonefire still gets another chance next week, so don't despair. And I'll talk about at the end what it's going to be up against. But we are going to be looking at the Mystic Faerie Tarot by the beautiful Linda Ravenscroft, and the book is by our very own Barbara Moore. This isn't the first version I owned of this. I was fortunate enough, hi Jackie, I was fortunate enough to meet Linda herself in her shop in Glastonbury when I did the Hermit on Tour, and I went to Glastonbury and met up with Giselle from the channel Mad Witch and her husband Keith. Had a fab time in Glastonbury. And Linda has a shop on the high street in Glastonbury called the Mystic Garden. She's had it since 2013, and her artwork is absolutely stunning. In fact, it was our Sandra from The Whispering Well who first kind of turned me on to her artwork. She sent me things like this coaster, which I've used ever since I've had it here on my desk. Her gift cards and things are Linda Ravenscroft work. I particularly love the tree people that she creates. I think she's such an incredible, talented artist. A lot of her artwork is influenced by like Brian Froud, what's that other guy called? William Morris, that type of influence. She has been a professional artist since 1994. Her first published artworks were in 1998. She's appeared in numerous fantasy books, fae books, colouring books. Her artwork has been on the cover of Pagan Dawn, and she's just wonderful. And as I've said, you can buy bags, calendars have featured her artwork, greeting cards, or you name it. Really well known artist in her own right. When I went to Glastonbury, I purchased this. So this is a tin. You can buy tins as well, and I particularly love this. And it's called, this particular piece of art is called Here Today, and I really like that. Here Today by Linda Ravenscroft. And I also brought, I put a little crystal in there as well. I also brought her oracle deck. I bought 2 of her silk bags to keep her decks in, and this is one of them, which is really beautiful. Gorgeous. And it's the backs of the oracle cards. And you don't need a book. There's the image and there is an interpretation for each oracle card. And it's really nice, but we're not here to talk about the oracle deck. So you can buy direct from her shop, which I mentioned was called the Mystic Garden. I've just lifted the bag with the tarot in, and underneath is a picture of when I met Linda in Glastonbury that Giselle took. If you do need to catch my attention, guys, because I'm going to be focused on the deck, if you want to join in, because that's what it's all about, then do put in capitals or start with the Hermit's Cave so it highlights, like Jackie did when she said hello. That catches my attention. I love this, and this is from the coaster that Sandra bought me, so I instantly recognised that design, and I bought that to put the tarot deck in. The version that I'm going to be showing you today, which is by Llewellyn, is, because it's been out since 2007, this tarot deck, so it's been out for 13 years. It was in this format where you have the design like a designed border all the way around. That has gone in the new version, in the new Llewellyn version. They are borderless and quite beautiful. Now, I ended up, for some reason, and I think it was an error because I just bought these off the shelf in her shop and got a bag to put into them. But I ended up with 2 of these cards. And this is a poem that Linda wrote herself, and it does appear in the book as well. So it says, "Faeries clever, fairies bright. From garden, wood and pond, you shed your glorious light. Many thanks for helping me find a path that's true and right." And I really love that. But there was 2 in there. So I must gift one in a giveaway or something when I do a giveaway. So I love the fact that I've got the original, which is very hard to get unless you buy direct from Linda's shop in Glastonbury. And when we go to the Glastonbury meetup, guys, we'll probably see her, because even though she's extremely busy, her and her husband run the shop, but they're very seldom there because when I went, it was Frost Fair. It was extremely busy, so Linda and her husband were in the shop, and he's lovely too. I think his name's John. I don't know why I think his name's John, but yeah, but anyway, it is John. I made a note. Yeah, John. He was really friendly, and he took the picture actually of me and Linda together. So we're not going to be looking at these. We're going to be looking at the edition that everybody can get from Amazon and places like that. And I've seen that Dan said something like, I've got Amazon open in case I need to buy. I've purchased the decks in the last 2 days. I pray I don't like these. Sorry, I've purchased 5 decks in the last 2 days. I pray I don't like these, says Jamie. I know. And if anybody's just seen my walkthrough of the Carol Hertzer deck, I need to find some money to buy the Starlight. So I'm going to be very careful on what I buy now. With having Kickstarters going out left, right and centre. Okay. So, this deck, this actual printing, if we have a look in the book, and the book is amazing. I shall tell you for why it's particularly amazing in a minute. Linda looks so different in that picture to that picture I've just showed you as well. This version was printed in 2018. So, what I like about this deck in particular is we always complain about Llewellyn's cardstock when they have these nice boxes, but I don't know if it's just me or whether I'm getting used to them now, but that feels like a thick deck. This is like good cardstock, and this is 2018, and I'm like, well, what's happening? Because the others I bought from that year and stuff have been, you know, like the Alice at the Wonderland Tarot and things like that have not been like that. Let me give you a quick comparison between the different style of the cards then. Even though we're not going to talk about the cards just yet, we're going to talk about the box and everything. So that is the original full card. Now it looks like that, which I like this version. I like that it's borderless. All of this kind of archway, flower, floral has gone, and you see more of the image. So I just wanted to give you that as a comparison. And this cardstock isn't that brilliant. So so I bought this, and then the next week I met up with Sandra. She's just reminded me of this actually. I met up with Sandra in London, and I'd spent so much on my travels, and this was the last day of my tour. I went to London and I met up with Sandra, and I was like, I'm not going to keep buying decks. I've spent an absolute fortune. I'm not even going to tell you how much I spent on my tour at the end of 2018. So there was a deck that Sandra wanted, and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, they've got the Mystic Faerie. I've just bought it, but I'd love to get the version that comes with a book by Barbara Moore. And Sandra says, well, look, I want that deck. So I said, why don't I buy you that deck, and then you buy me this deck, and then I don't feel like I've bought myself another deck. So that's what we did. The things you do. Anyway, this is a really nice, sturdy box. The usual that we've been seeing a lot by Llewellyn. On the front, beautiful, clear image. And on the back, it says, an enchanting fairy tarot. Imagine yourself in a long-forgotten garden. The grass shimmers and whispers. Colourful wild flowers seesaw lazily in the breeze. A meandering path invites you to venture further into the enchanting world of fairies, sprites, elves and nymphs to discover the magic and possibility in your own life. Featuring beautiful watercolour artwork, renowned fantasy artist Linda Ravenscroft, and a charming guidebook by popular tarot author Barbara Moore, the Mystic Faerie Tarot presents a magical fairy tale for each suit. Now this is what I love about this deck, and this for me is what sets this tarot apart. Every suit is a story. It's got a title, and they are sequential through the ace to 10, relaying to that particular story. It doesn't necessarily mean that they follow on as such, because they've woven the tarot archetypes into that. So it's not like what's it called? Prisma Visions. It's not like that where you piece them together like a jigsaw puzzle, but it's an ongoing story from ace to 10 linked to a particular theme per suit. And I just think that's really wonderful. And the reason why I really wanted the book is because the book tells the story. So for example, in the Two of Pentacles, it continues the story. In her village, the young Fae worked alongside others, planting gardens that had been established for years. Starting from scratch was another story. She had to clear the ground and gather seeds on her own. And it goes on, and this story builds. And this is a story book, as well as a tarot companion book. So it's really lovely for that. So I love that. So it presents a magical fairy tale for each suit, an introduction to tarot and quick reference guide for beginners, an original fairy themed spreads such as Dewdrop, Acorn to Oak, and a nighttime forest stroll. Oh, I just think it's wonderful. It's absolutely beautiful and wonderful. So, as I said, it's in watercolours. It has sprites and nymphs and fae folk and mer people. But it has, for me, a certain Victorian, flowery kind of feel as well. You know, that Victorian flower, fae type art vibe to it. I really love it for that. So the cards have changed, as I said. Originally, when it was released in 2007, it was like the independent one with a board, with a design. In the last couple of years, it's changed to this borderless design as well. The book I've just mentioned is beautiful, the way it is written. I mean, Barbara Moore, come on, she writes so many great tarot companion books. She's a certified tarot reader through the American Tarot Association. She's spoken at tarot conferences around the world. Her articles on tarot have appeared in several tarot publications and in Llewellyn's publications. And I've already mentioned Linda and a little bit about her background. So this is a real gem of a book. So chapter 1 is Why Tarot? You know, at the beginning, we've got a little bit from Linda as well, the artist notes. So she talks about, I was born in 1963. I'm a typical Pisces, always preferring to live in a dream world, a world which I have painted ever since I can remember how to paint. And so she gives her a little bit of an autobiography, and she finishes with, shine brightly and live your dreams, Linda. So it's beautiful. And then Barbara Moore does an introduction as well, which is called Welcome to the Garden. And then we go into the content of the book. Why tarot? Straight into the major arcana, the minor arcana. And the minor arcana is over 105 pages because it's telling this ongoing continuous story. Chapter 5 is visiting the fairy garden. There's a whole section on spreads. There's 16 pages on fae spreads. And then we have some sample readings as well at the back. So it's a really decent book. It is 300 something pages, 200 and almost 300 pages. It goes up to 284, but then there's some advertisement pages and note pages and how to write to the author. So there's just shy of 300 pages in this book. It is a really decent, hi Lilypad, I never get to see one of these live, so welcome. It's a really, really decent guidebook. And I love it when you get a good guidebook to go with a deck. And I think if you are going to buy the deck, even if you buy directly from Linda and her shop, the original style, if you prefer kind of that style of art, I think the book's a must to really appreciate those stories. So those suits, let me give you the titles. I made a note of these earlier. The Wands is called A Grand Adventure, and it focuses on two fae folk who is going on a journey together through this garden, through perils and different things that they have to overcome and places they have to pass through. So it's called a grand adventure, and that's the wands energy. And you know, they are still called, they don't, you know, they're still called Six of Wands and things like that. But if you're referring to the book, that's what the title is called. Robert says, I called you with my thoughts. Also, I was thinking about the Mystic Fairy Tarot just the other day. I am long overdue to replace it. Goddess willing, it is still in print. It is still in print, and it's quite a reasonable price, Robert. Certainly is in the UK. I'm hoping it is in the States too. Hi, Twist. Good to see you. So the cup suit, the story is called The Magic Caledine, and it is a nymph and a wood elf falling in love. And that's what the cups, I mean, if we think about cups, you know, the Two of Cups, and we think about the emotions of cups. So that one is a love story. The swords is called The Blue Rose, and the story there is a Fae queen and two Fae saving the land from desolation. How apt in today's world as well, about endangered rainforests and you know, and we think about like the fires and things that we've had, you know, and these beautiful ecosystems just being destroyed. And then the Pentacles is called a Fairy Fortune. Pentacles, money, you know, material world. And it's learning the value of hard work to survive a harsh winter. So that's what the story is within the Pentacles through the Ace to 10. I just think it's a great way to link the minors together. You know, when I learnt the numerology, when I was practicing learning Marseille systems or PIP decks, not necessarily just Marseille systems, for me, I had to think of like the building up of the numbers from, you know, when you have like after the 5, which is quite destructive, and then the new growth of 6, and how then you can go into stagnation again. It's like a continuation, and I love the fact that this is done in story form for each of the minor suits, the way they link and the way they build up. I honestly love a well done story deck. Yeah, me too. Me too. So that's a little bit about the minors. Let's look at the actual card and card stock. So even though this is Llewellyn and it's got a fantastic book and it's got a lovely hardback, what do they call it? Magnetic, that's the word I'm looking for, magnetic box. The card stock is really, really good. I'm like, what's happened here? It can be done, and it has been done, so why can't you do all of them like this? In terms of size comparison, with my little trusted template that I use, which is usual US Games size, this is typical Llewellyn size, so a little bit shy in width, and I don't know, half an inch difference in height, but that is your standard kind of Llewellyn card size. Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. And the backs, I really like the back design. So we have this Celtic knot design, and I love Celtic knots. So we've got this beautiful Celtic knot design, and we've got this green man motif as well here. I like the colours of that as well. It's just like a, I don't know, like a pale lemony colour. It's just really nice. So it's a green man motif. It is fully reversible. And as I said, it's got all around it this Celtic knot design. It looks like an insect also. Yeah, because the eyes, I suppose, but I just see the green man. Yes, Celtic knot is lovely. It is. So anything else to say about them? What I will say, I don't want to be hammered by copper. I think this will be a great starter deck or a great deck to buy for kids. If and that is a question I get asked quite a lot actually by subscribers. They'll say, can you recommend a good deck for kids? And I often say things like the Happy Tarot or things like Mons Tarot and stuff like that. But actually, I think this would be, because it's fairy tale as well, it's quite light, it's very whimsical, it's very summery. And to say I bought this in winter, you know, end of November, beginning of December time, it has that summery feel to it. The colours, because it's a luscious garden, the colours are very yellow and greens and very light because it's watercolour, and watercolour always feels very summery as well, doesn't it? So it has that sort of nice light energy to it. However, don't be mistaken, because it might have light energy to it, but it can pack a punch as well. Simon, did you order your backup Japaridze? We can't order yet in the UK. US games do not ship to the UK. They never have. I have complained bitterly to them a few times, and it's not appearing on Amazon yet. So we're going to have to wait. It's always the same when they advertise on their website first. I remember when the Guild Tarot came out, I had to wait a good 8 months before I could get it. So I will be ordering a backup Japaridze because I sold mine and instantly regretted it. So yes, it will be one that I'll be getting again as soon as we're able to over here. And as I said, it's quaint and it's got like a Victorian flower feeling to me. There are subtle pagan influences within the images as well, and you'll see that. And some of the Fae folk are quite goth. I think the Devil card in particular, or the Death card. I mean, she's very goth looking, and I like that. So there's kind of diversity within the Fae folk too. And like I said, we've got all sorts of mer people, and so yeah. What else to say? The lamination, and I think this could be why the deck is thicker than some other modern Llewellyn decks. The lamination is quite heavy, not to the point of being like Schiffer heavy. Oh, is Connor here? Hi, Connor. But there is kind of a thicker lamination to it. But I don't mind that if it makes the cards feel thicker as well. For me, it's all about the girth. I like a nice girthy deck to hold. Japaridze, what? Jesus, I come up for air. Yeah, Japaridze was released yesterday, I think, for order off direct from US games. Inner child tattoo for kids, possibly. But I don't really think kids have to do inner child work because they're already children. I think it's us who have to do our inner child work and reconnect, but I get what you're saying, I think. So shall we just dive in and have a look at this deck? There are some lovely images. There's a lot of fun. And it reminds me, again, in a chat with work and stuff like that, it reminds me of those long summer holidays when you could, before you was worried about the world out there, when your mum could say to you, here's some sandwiches, pop them in your backpack, be home for 4 o'clock, and it's like 10 a.m. and you've got the long summer day and you could wander through fields and play in ditches, as I did, make dens or blow those fairy things, the dandelion seed ones, and oh, it reminds me of that sort of energy. Hi King. Hi Connor. This is my first time participating in Throwback Thursday videos. Really, Robert? Wow, I thought you'd been in before, but that could have been Cup of Catch Up and Cards, maybe. So it's good to see you. Don't worry about being late. Nobody's ever late, and everybody's welcome. And everybody else that's come in since I started, because there's 82 people here, which is great. Welcome to everybody. I tend not to look at the chats too much on Throwback Thursday because I like to keep it to an hour. And we're already at the halfway point, and I've not started showing the cards yet. And as I said at the beginning, I want to be around for Epine de Vale's Baby Witching series, episode 1, which is starting tonight, 10 minutes after this ends. So let's have a look at the cards. That's why we're all here. Hi, Caroline. So here we have our Fool, and it looks like he's got little bubbles floating around. Again, you know, it's that summery vibe. These are so much clearer than without the borders. I mean, the borders are beautiful. They're not just your standard border, but there's so much more image and so much more to see. I love this magician. He's just got a pack of playing cards, and he's just, you know, looks like he's doing some sort of juggling contortion kind of thing going on here. Hi, Hecate. But you know, it's a traditional. It follows RWS, even though some of the minors are a bit of a stretch because they're trying to fit the stories for each of the suits as well, as I mentioned earlier. But you know, it's traditional. He's got his plinth, he's got his tools representing each of the suits, therefore each of the elements. But yeah, I really like that. And they've all got a, not an expression, they've all got a particular similar features within the Fae folks that are represented in the deck. I love her. A gorgeous high priestess. She just looks so regal, doesn't she? And she's holding this sphere and just scrying, just sitting there, you know, on this kind of altar, cross-legged in meditation, and just scrying with this beautiful crystal ball. It's just gorgeous. And the feathers and everything in her headdress. Gorgeous Empress. I mean, it's traditional, big-bellied, you know, pregnant. But look, she's holding the wheat. Got daisies all around her, and it's that connection with the earth. Absolutely beautiful. And you know, some people have said that, you know, Linda's art is quite busy. I don't agree. They're very detailed, but they're not busy like Joy de Vive or Paulina, or busy like Line Strider, not Line Strider, Shadowscapes. I always get those two mixed up for some reason. I don't find that, and I just think they're absolutely stunning. Gorgeous. I love his posture. He's just sitting there, you know, like, hello, you all right? Just resting on his shield and just so casual. And we don't have the Hierophant or the Pope. We just have the priest. The priest, and he's also holding a crystal ball. So it really links him with the High Priestess. I agree with you. I never found the Mystic Tarot busy. Detailed, yes, and so many things on which to connect physically. Spot on, Robert. Spot on. And these, I mean, her art I adore anyway, but each card is a real masterpiece. Really is. Twist said, I think those that feel the busy thing with this deck is because the background and foreground colour schemes are similar. Yes, there isn't that striking contrast, is there? Because it's so subtle in its watercolours. I also think that a lot of people have perhaps called it busy, might have seen the original cards, which I showed at the beginning, where they have the fancy flowery borders on them as well. Therefore, the image was shrunk down quite a bit. Gorgeous Lovers card. Beautiful. One of my favourite Chariots. I love this card. Just look at that. I mean, we've got mythical creatures, and she's just so composed. You know, these are quite wild, and, you know, she's just taking it in a stride. She's not, you know, holding fast. She's just in control, calmly. The Strength has a beautiful dragon. And look at the pink background. Really gorgeous. Can I just say how much I love this Hermit card? And if I ever see this as a print, I am buying it. And Robin can't make these chats, but it reminds me a bit of Robin as well, because there's all these toadstools in it. But just look at that Hermit. I'm getting very close to buying this deck. It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. I love him. I really do. I cannot decide between this and the one Linda has on her site. Was you around at the beginning, Jamie, when I showed the comparison between the two? I would personally go with this one first, because you get the book, which has the fairy tale stories for each of the minors in them, and a lovely write-up for all the majors as well. And then you could always buy the one from Linda's site afterwards. But the images are smaller and they are busier because of the borders. Look how gorgeous that wheel is. Isn't that a stunning card? Linda has the Hermit print. Wow. Thank you for letting me know. Now I just need to remember to go to it. Justice is gorgeous. She's blindfolded. Hi, Debbie. I'm looking at the copy I have with the borders, and I'm looking at your Hermit. Are the colours slightly equally vibrant in this deck? Looks like the colours are brighter. Are they? Let's have a look then. So I'll get the original that I bought from Linda's shop. They've got a completely different feel. I mean, they're not laminated. Yes, they're more muted in the original. So this is the one I've just showed, and this is the, yeah. So you can see the greens. This is more greeny, earthy. Like I say, it's not laminated as much as this, but yeah. And look at the more pink on the toadstools. So that's a good point. Thanks for raising it. Again, that could be a deciding factor. Let's see. Also, I'll show this one because there's a lot of colour in that one. So this has more luscious greens, but there's quite a difference, isn't there? All right, where am I up to? I'm putting wrong cards on wrong piles. Oh, wow. Oh, no. The backs are quite different as well. This is more green in the original one, whereas this is more like a yellow colour. Right, where am I? Oh, gosh. That's it. They belong to there. Right. Back on track. I'm missing comments, I think, as well. If I've missed anything, guys, please put it again. We have the Hanged Fae, which is lovely. I love the death card. She's just sitting on this huge skull. But look at the colours. Like I said, she's very goth, but I love it. Laugh out loud at the Hanged Fae. I love that death card. This is the This is the card from the cover, which is Temperance, which is beautiful. That gorgeous, rich canary yellow colour. I love it. She's just looking forward, at peace, as she's pouring from her vessels. I like the newer version more. Yeah, I do. Gorgeous devil card. Hermit's Cave. I like how she managed to get that posture, open legs, on the death card without looking dirty. Yeah. But you know, you can't make a deck like this and it be anything other, can you? It's just got that energy and that vibe. I love that Tower card. I mean, we kind of, you know, we've often said when it's Fae decks and it's otherworldly, then you usually do get trees. But it's kind of like a hybrid of a tree. It's got this turret on top. It's like, it's a tower made within a tree. The Star card is gorgeous. I love the moon. And can we, you know, if we put like the moon and the sun together, it's just such a wonderful pairing, isn't it? And they kind of almost link up, look. It's gorgeous, I love it. Kind of reminds me of like in Marielle, and you get the moon and the sun and you can put them together like that. Really beautiful. Lovely next to each other, yeah. It's like night and day, it's like yin and yang. How, especially when you look at like the vines. Gorgeous. I love it when cards complement each other. Hi Naomi. That's very cute. Very cool. I'm seeing words that aren't even there. One of my favourite world cards. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Just look at them. Just balancing the world between them. Stunning. So we change, and what I really like is we do have a subtle colour change between each of the suits as well. So remember, they're a story, and the ones is the grand adventure. So that adventure between two fae who go on that journey, facing obstacles. So we have now these autumnal colours, these oranges and reds for the wands. So they've been really thought out. You know, Linda's really thought out the deck. And you can see their journey starting. And you know, I said it's not like Prisma Visions where you still could put them together. It's the same characters going through their story. The people that they meet on the way. The planning process. And look at that. It's got this egg and it's hatched and you've got this little baby dragon. I like that. But look, the dragon is growing. it's helping them on their journey. Maybe it needs taming a little bit. Taming a lot. And then the courts are lovely. We have knave, knight, queen and king rather than page. So here's our knave. Knight. See, the images aren't busy. They're just beautiful, really beautiful. Dan's put, whoops, just brought the deck. Well, you've only got yourself to blame, Dan, because you did have Amazon open and ready just in case you're going to buy the deck. Now, if I sat there with Amazon open and ready with this deck up and somebody is showing it, chances are I'm going to buy it. So let's look at our cups. So our cups is the magic celadine. It's a nymph and a wood elf. I can't say elf. Finding love. Here's our beautiful Ace of Cups. And there's that moment. That moment. The hands just touching for the first time. He's presenting her with a beautiful gift with this sphere inside. Nymph and a wood elf. She goes back and tells her friends, it's like Greece, summer loving. I've just met a boy. Now she's playing a bit hard to get. They've had their first tiff. Oh, the heartbreak. Divining for her future. What's going to happen? Does he love me? Will he come back to me? Okay, I don't really look into major only decks. That is why I like not seeing it. Interesting. So I've missed a comment here. The Ramesses Tarot also has this continuity of story in the individual suits. That's interesting to know. I've not heard of Ramesses Tarot, Robert. 8. Now then, has she fell in love with somebody else? Or has he grown up a bit and matured? That looks like a different dude. I'm gonna have to read the book and refresh my memory. Oh, but they live happily ever after. And here's our knave. The knight. Look at the colours. They're just so beautiful. Our queen and our king. Okay, so let's have a look at swords. So this is the blue rose, and this is the queen, the Fae queen, who is working with 2 Fae folk to save the land from desolation. I think the aces are absolutely beautiful in this deck. Dan, you've made a good choice buying this deck. I need to start watching Throwback Thursday. I ordered the modern spellcasters the other week. It's coming, costing me a fortune. It's quite a powerful deck. You know, they're looking at things that are dying before their time and they're heartbroken over it and feeling quite, you know, forlorn and Jen? Is Jen here? Which Jen's here? Oh, Science to Soul, Jen. Hello, Jen. Happy Friday. Oh, and I'm dropping cards. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the thorns. But she's you know, she's helping. She's adding water. Which one have I dropped? The 8. The Queen bringing it back to life. I had forgotten how gorgeous the artwork is. It really is, isn't it? Oh, but look, she's sacrificing herself as well. All these thorns digging into her. But isn't that a great version of the Ten of Swords when we think about the Ten of Swords? Our knave. Loads of beautiful pinks in the swords here. Queen. And the King. I love how they're using the thorns as their crowns. Then we have our final suit, which is the Pentacles, which I love. So this one is called A Faerie Fortune, and it's about learning the value of hard work and determination to get through a harsh winter. You know, so it's about that gathering, isn't it, and making sure you've got every eventuality catered for. But look at this Ace of Pentacles. Oh, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Wow. So she's gathering. Becca, do you like this tarot? I had the bordered version but ruined it trying to edge it. I'm not sure which. I know Epine Deville, even when I didn't care about a deck, after Watch Simon, I want it. I could just imagine Becca liking this because to me, Becca, this is right up your street. I mean, just look. And look how tiny they are compared to like the rodents. You know, 4 of Pentacles. She needs to hold on to that. Others are going to come. She needs that security and stability of the 4. 5 of Pentacles. So cute. Becca says, I'll be getting this version for sure. I thought you would. Look, and Elle will love these as well, these little rodents in there. But look, she's actually sharing. She's actually offering. But then 1 become 2. And 2 become a family. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I think this has to be my favourite suit. I think it is so great. Look at that. Look at the 10. Elle, do you drop coins now for the Fae? She will be after this. Our Knave. Knight. I think Elle's gone. She's gone very quiet. Jackie, is she gone? Queen. And King. So that's it, guys. That is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. For a Llewellyn deck, the cardstock is stonking. It's like the original cardstock. Nice thick deck. Lovely box, not that flip top box which it originally came in. Fantastic 300 almost page book from Barbara Moore. Absolutely brilliant deck. So yeah, I'm super pleased with it, and I really enjoyed, because I haven't worked with it much, to be honest, because I bought it, well, not this one, this is the one Sandra got me, but I bought the original one when I bought lots of decks on that trip around the UK. So I've really enjoyed working with it for the last couple of days. What new channel for Hermit Cave, Claire? Oh, there is a new channel. It's a collaboration channel, Robert, that myself, Becca and Elle are doing, and Sandra is our researcher. And let me just tell you, Sandra's done some amazing research already. We'll be going out later this month. We've got an intro video up there. It's called the Tarot Times. If anybody could drop a link in. I think Elle's gone. So yeah, so it's not my channel, it's a collaboration channel. I'm a part of that channel. I'll still be doing this, and Becca will still be doing hers, but Elle will be joining us as well, and Sandra is a researcher. So it's called the Tarot Times. Oh, there's Elle, she is still with us. Thank you. So I've got a couple of minutes left. So next week, for Throwback Thursday, Bonefire Tarot lives for another go, so that's what you can vote on next week. And up against it is the Delos Tarot. It's been a long time since I've looked at this deck. This is the second edition. I did have the first edition, but this is the second edition. So it'll be between the Bonefire Tarot or the Delos Tarot for next week's Throwback Thursday. Same time, 8 p.m. UK time here on the Hermit's Cave. So just to shout out again for those joining, if you want to carry on with some, it's not a live chat, it's a premiere. So Dan will be there in just over 10 minutes time. Epine Duvail is just there in the chat if you want to click on. He is starting his baby witching series. It's episode 1. And I'm really looking forward to it. I bought my book to start working, so I'm going to end now so I can go and refill my coffee cup and get ready for that premiere video. Thank you guys for being here again. Thank you to the moderators for moderating and being the awesome people that you are. Thank you for taking part and indulging me each week to reconnect with these old favourites of mine. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll be a video going up that might surprise people. I bought a Thoth deck. So I'm okay. But yeah, all will be revealed. So I'll record that tomorrow and put it up. Saturday, 4 p.m. in the Hermit's Cave, I'll be interviewing the fabulous Jessie Driscoll, who is the creator of the Crystal Skull Tarot that is now up on Kickstarter, and Barbara Moore. And Rachel Pollock is going to be the author of the book to accompany that tarot deck. So I hope you can join us for that interview Saturday at 4 p.m. UK time. Thanks, guys, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.